Hi, guys, and welcome back to a new episode of Alma Latina Journey Within. Well, today I thought of something and I want to share some things with you, as sincere and as vulnerable as I can. I want to tell you a story about a day. It was supposed to be a simple moment that day. I was in the airport, just waiting for my partner to arrive from Mexico. His plane was landed with no delay, but yet he was not coming out. No messages from him, no updates, no way to reach him because he hadn't yet activated his Romanian SIM card. Well, time passed and then I broke. I broke in pieces there, but it all started with some restlessness, then with tears, then I had a tight chest, and a voice within myself was just whispering old fears. What if he's gone? What if he's not coming back? What if something bad happened? What if never I get to say goodbye? It wasn't about that moment, that instant. It was actually about all the moments before that, about all the losses that came suddenly without a final hug, without some last words. And all that came back to me and made me just lose it. Just really lose it. But then something shifted. Maybe it was all the integrative therapy that I just had few days ago before this incident, actually, for me, because I was in my courses. Or maybe it was just grace or just some subconscious willing to calm me down. But for the first time, with clarity, I stepped from the role of victim and from the anxiety to the role of the witness. Actually, as I was taught a few days before, I observed what happened to me, what was actually happening in that instant. And then I said to myself, this is an old reaction. This is not real now. It was actually a deep fear. But I was telling to myself, now the truth is another one. Today, we have another truth. I actually was trying to self-regulate myself. I held myself together. I put my hand on my right hand on my heart, and I was talking to myself like a therapist was talking to me. So that actually helped. The moment passed, things got better because he actually came. He was there, right? I knew he was there. But it was only the next day that I realized that panic attack that I had was in truth a trauma response, a deeply rooted fear of losing the dear ones, because I've lived that not only one time, but several times. It was that trauma that comes from the past wounds. It was not from the present moment. It was a desperate need for safety. Since then, I've kept asking myself, what holds me when life knocks me down? The answer doesn't come from the outside, it comes from within. It doesn't come from logic, not from someone else. It comes from small rituals that I have, from gestures of care to myself, from a hand on my heart, as I showed you. So actually, in this episode, I will share with you some maybe rituals, let's call them rituals, that I use to self-regulate myself. I didn't think they were self-regulatory rituals, but after this episode I realized. So I use this not to fix myself, but in order not to abandon myself. So some of the rituals of self-regulations that I use are actually here to hold myself when life gets too much, like in the airport. My self-regulation doesn't come from books or from theory. It comes from experience, from my body, from vibration, from God. I don't try to give you a step-by-step formula, because it doesn't work the same for all of us. I just invite you in my space. I invite you to feel, to understand what resonates with you. And here is what actually works for me. As I said, I put my right hand on my heart. It's the same hand that I'm using when I'm offering energy, when I do healing. I place it gently on my chest, and I let my breath slow down, because then my cardiac rhythm slows down, because the heart listens to my respiration. And then my body softens, and I tell to myself, I am safe. I am where I have to be. I am not alone. So I repeat things to myself. Or the other ritual, because I started it to make it as a ritual, to become an observer. So it's subtle, that's true, but it's powerful. If you have the power to extract yourself, at least a part of yourself, out of the anxiety of the situation, of the problem, and to put yourself like here, like in an observer mode, you will find this, that instead of being fear, you can see the fear. You can name the fear, the anxiety, because this is what happened to me. And it actually whispers to me, whispers to myself, this observer. It's anxiety. This is grief disguised as panic. This is not the full truth. This is not the truth of today. Another ritual that I do is to clear my space with Palo Santo, with incense, with anything that works for you. I do this every now and often, and I walk through my rooms, all my room, including my bathroom, my kitchen, everything. And while doing this, I pray. I pray in my own rhythm, not memorized prayers, not religious prayers, just raw words. Sometimes I just whisper them, sometimes just in my mind, but always they are real. And I pray to God to protect me, to protect the loved ones, to protect my house, and so on. So this is working for me. Another ritual that I do is reframe my language. It's not about fake positivity. It's just that knowing the power, the vibration of the words, I'm careful what I'm telling to myself, because words, as I said, hold a frequency, an energy. So when I hear myself saying I cannot do this, or I'm fear of that, or I don't believe I don't know what, I just soften it and I come back to the same idea and I say to myself, it's hard right now, but I've survived worse. I'm still here, or I'm safe, or whatever it's reframing the first words about. And the last but not least one is that I try to meditate and to reconnect, maybe not every day, but often. Enough to stay aligned. I sit in quiet, in silence, I breathe. Sometimes I receive messages, sometimes I just rest in presence. I don't need to prove I'm spiritual. I'm just saying to you this because it works. And every time I return to God, for me, it works to recalibrate myself. So this is what I'm trying to tell you. So this is what I'm trying to tell you. That self-regulation, it's not about performance. It's a devotion. To stay with yourself, to speak gently inside your own mind, body, and soul, to hold your heart like you would hold a child, because you are holding your inner child as well, with patience, with grace, with reverence, with humbleness. And life will always shake you. But the real question actually is, do you know how to come back from this shakiness? To come back to yourself when life does shake you? This is the question that I'm trying to leave you with. Because you know what? As I've told you, no therapist saved me at the airport. Yes, I started to therapy, but in that instant, in that moment, there was nobody else with me to hold my hand, to say that I'm okay. So no therapist saved me, no logic saved me, just one hand on my heart, a whisper to God, and actually the memory that I've survived pain before. That was enough to bring me home. So what's one thing you do, just if you want to share that with me, when world actually puts you apart? If you can share it with me, with us, that would be amazing, because we all are learning to come home to ourselves by helping each other. So this was it for today. A short intervention about self-regulation, but I think it is important, more important when you're trying to fight depression or anxiety. So this is my experience with this kind of regulatory. Sorry, I got emotional. I got emotional. So again, hold yourself, go back to what makes you breathe again, and life will get better. Step by step, you will get out of that anxiety that panicked you. Until next time, kisses and hugs, and hope to see you better each day.